right. Forgot about that. Check it out. Look what I just got. Brand new 2006. I got the Gummy Bear song. Got the new MP3. Wait. You're saying it's 2022? We have devices that could take better pictures than this camera and play music without any cables? What am I doing with this piece of junk?
All joking aside, I have two goals for this video. First one is to let you know whether or not you need an MP3 player, and second off is to unbox and talk specifically about the one I received. So let's hop on into it. So let's start with the reasons that you might actually want an MP3 player. First reason is you get better sound, or at least in my case, I did. And that could just be chalked up to the way that the sound interacts with your earbuds and how much more the sole focus of your MP3 player is to do that. And that's why it sounds better. But either way, whether even though I was using the same exact audio file, same earbuds, you know, EQ and all that stuff set to the same thing, it did sound better on the MP3 player. So, and again, with something sounding better, it's not some amazing sort of revolution of what the song sounds like. It still sounds the same, but usually you pick up on things that you couldn't hear before, or it's clearer or more distinct or something like that. So it's probably going to be better than just listening on your phone, especially if you go from streaming the song to having it downloaded and listening to it natively. Next thing is you don't need an internet connection at all. But again, if you the MP3 player is its own device with storage dedicated solely to your music files. So if you haven't a ton of them, or they're very high quality, that could take up a lot of space on your phone that you may want to use for other stuff. So with having a separate device, you can now have, you know, that's your music over there on that device. You don't need to worry about it on your phone. So that's good. Also, you have an aux port. So if your phone, which likely doesn't have one, you don't need to worry about a dongle or the dongle itself not giving you as high quality of a signal as a dedicated one. Next, it would be how you could, say, leave the device in a spot that solely needs music. So for example, if you're going to the gym, you can leave it in your gym bag and you never have to worry about not having your music when you go there, because it's, you know, you're going to keep it there and you leave it there. Obviously you can't do that with your phone. Or I don't know, for example, you have some place with speakers and stuff set up, like a party spot outside or in a building outdoors, maybe like a garage, right? Now you don't have to bring your phone and worry about notifications going off while you're playing music, and, you know, leaving it within range if it's Bluetooth, something like that. So this MP3 player allows you to have your dedicated music library playing at a spot, which could be very nice if that's what you need. And then also you can use it as a dedicated recording device. If you have something like a lav mic and multiple subjects and you need sort of a quick way to record the audio, you can just plug a mic on into it and just hit record, and then, you know, sync up the audio afterwards. So that way you don't have to rely on just a single mic or what have you. So those are some pretty good reasons that you might actually want to use the MP3 player. And now reasons that you might not want to is, first off, it's it's a big pain downloading your music and transferring it over to a device where you may have to actually get an SD card reader out, get the reader, plug that in, or in the case of mine, you can just plug the Type-C right in your computer. But still, downloading all of your music, if you don't already have it downloaded, can be kind of a pain. And then, you know, organizing it on your folders and getting playlists set up and all that stuff. Another annoyance with an MP3 player is switching Bluetooth. If your phone is nearby, right, you take them out of their case and they will automatically pair to your phone or the last connected device. Then you have to go to your phone, disconnect it, and go into the settings of the MP3 player and connect it, and then do it all over again when you want to disconnect. That's pretty annoying. If you're using wired headphones, you know that gets rid of that problem. And most of them are going to have a speaker built in, but they're like really not good, especially like phone speakers aren't that good. Most of them have stereo now, at least, and are, you know, good enough to listen to something for yourself in a relatively quiet small space. But the MP3 player ones are practically useless. I don't know anybody who'd want to actually listen to anything on such bad speakers. And also just the fact that you have to use clunky menus, and it's not as easy as opening up your favorite music streaming service, clicking on your playlist, and just going. And you know, you don't get any of those sort of new music from you and new music from your artist. You do have to go back to your streaming service or what have you to sort of find that new stuff and save it and all that. So there are definitely some pitfalls to using an MP3 player. So with that done, let's move on to specifically my MP3 player and what's included. Alrighty, so let's head on to the actual MP3 player in question here. The 32 and the 128 in black, and then the other one's blue. So, alright, here's the actual hard case that it comes with. Here's the armor strap. Inside the box, we have a clip, and then also the manual here. So, not very pretty packaging, MP3 player. There we got the good old M key. Love the M key. Oh, that smells. I mean, it's what you expect. It's sort of fabric with the elastic in it and the sort of really shiny pleather, the hard plastic on the sort of loops right there. Yep, it's an arm strap. Alright, so I do like the hard case, so that way you can put it in a backpack and have keys in it and not get worried about it. And included is a pair of earbuds. So it's an entirely soft rubber, which I think is nice that you don't have, I guess, hard shiny plastic that makes it look like AirPods and then they get scuffed if they're any color but white. Good old volume up, down, pause, play, and I'm sure you can double tap it to skip. Nice red head right there. Next we have simple aux cable, which is nice. Type-C for charging, which is great that you're still not getting micro B with those stupid pins on a device this expensive. So here is the actual device. We can grab, say, the normal USB to get the thickness comparison. So just a bit thicker than it. I think the pictures make it look a bit slimmer than it actually is. So on this, the storage is actually just the micro SD card. So assuming that there's no other differences with the other ones, you are paying extra for a micro SD card, and I'm sure you could get a better deal on that. You do have the labels here on the back, which is nice in case you forget what the side buttons do, which I actually appreciate. So that way on the front it's nice and sleek and there isn't really anything on the sides, it's just on the back. You have a nice default sort of text that says MP3 player. Oh yeah. What? When I hit the button, it does light up red. Settings here. Sound settings, equalizer. So you can do custom here. Oh. So that's your options for equalizer. It's been a while since I've used my MP3 player, and there are a few things that I have to say about this one specifically. First, the actual form factor itself. Physical buttons on the side with the markings on the back, I really like the way that looks visually, and the buttons themselves are all fine. However, it's the front buttons that I'm not the biggest fan of. First off, the goofy little M button, which I think stands for menu, is only ever used when you're on the now playing screen of your song. You press M, now you can do things like add it to playlists and whatnot. That's fine, except in every other scenario, you just want to hit OK, right? The advanced button. So instinctively, you're going to want to like press the middle. No. And so now you have this M button that's only ever used in niche scenarios, especially if you already have all your music set up right the way you want it. You're just going to want to hit OK every single time. So don't like the M button, and I'm not a fan of this sort of glass front with the capacitive buttons, because you're pushing on glass, and unlike the screen of a phone, there's no visual indication. I mean, it does light up, but you don't get any reaction from the button itself. Unlike a phone, when you press on, say, an icon to close out of something, you see it close out right from that spot where you press it, whereas with this you have to use the buttons below and look at the screen above, and it doesn't quite work well. Other thing is the metal itself feels nice and the glass itself feels nice. Unfortunately, with a giant glass front panel, you're gonna get smudged, and it kind of stays that way, unfortunately. But also the size and the weight put it in this really awkward middle spot, for me at least, where it's not small enough to be this dinky little thing to hold between your fingertips and just use your thumb to press around, and light enough that it almost feels like nothing. But then also it's not heavy enough or big enough to sort of feel like a phone, where you get that full hand having to hold it. You get this weird middle ground where it doesn't just quite fit my hand very well. Just the menus are not good. You have to go to the music icon. So say you're playing a song, turn it off, turn it back on, now you're on the home menu. You need to go up to the music icon, then it will take you back to the last spot you were. So say the folder, you use the exact folders to get in there. Now you need to scroll all the way to the top, go to like my music playing right now, open that up, then you can pause your music. So you have to do all of that different stuff just to pause your music, or to use an actual skip button that isn't on your earbuds. So that's a lot of work just to get there. But at the same time, there are 3 different ways to get to recording. You can use the recording little icon on the front, you can use the tools, and then there's the physical button on there. So you have 3 different ways to immediately get to record audio, which is nice. I appreciate the recording button if that's what you're going to use the device for. However, there's no way to quickly get to your music to pause it, or to the radio station to turn it off. So an icon could have been created to take you directly to your music, and I really find that to be annoying. However, once you get your music playing, right, say you're listening to it for a long period of time, you don't really have to stop it or anything like that, it ends up working out fine, right? Because it'll just play your music like how you want it. However, when you're getting started and you're wanting to stop it, it is annoying. Finally, I just want to look at sort of the competition on Amazon. This is very much a by the numbers MP3 player. As far as like looking on there, you get 2 different tiers. One, this is in the $40 tier with this sort of glass and metal with Bluetooth included. Some of them, like the number one that Amazon recommends, is a square shape with sort of controls being on the actual screen. If I were to purchase one myself, I might go for that one, so that way I can get that sort of feedback from touch and whatnot, and then it's not as big and awkward feeling as I think it is. Then there's the second tier that's only $20 and doesn't seem to have Bluetooth, and it's sort of that old iPod style with physical buttons. So if you're never going to use Bluetooth at all, I would probably go for that. Most of these look awfully similar for $40, and same form factor, and you know, they include free earbuds and a wrist or arm strap and all that stuff. And I think that's about everything I have to say about this MP3 player and MP3 players in general. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.